Okay, let's jump right in. If you've ever, found yourself drowning in browser tabs just trying to figure out the best way, the cheapest way to ship something,
Oh, yeah.
whether it's for your business, your Etsy shop, or maybe just sending a gift. You know what I mean? Feels like a whole separate job sometimes.
He absolutely does. All that comparing rates, hopping between carrier sites, printing labels,
Yeah.
it adds up fast.
Yeah, it really eats into your time.
And what's interesting is how those little bits of time across lots of shipments, they really become, well, significant overhead for any size business, really.
Right. Well, this deep dive, we're hoping to cut through some of that. We've been looking into a platform called shipvista.com.
Mm-hmm.
We've got their About Us page, their How It Works stuff, details on features, the general description.
Yep, the core materials.
And our mission here really is to unpack what ShipVista actually does. How does it aim to simplify things for people shipping stuff?
Exactly. We're sort of taking it apart piece by piece, seeing how it works as a central hub for that whole shipping journey, start to finish.
And for you listening, this is about getting up to speed quickly.
Mhm.
If you're running an e-commerce store, big or small, or even if you just ship things personally now and then, we want to show you how something like this might save you time, maybe some money, and definitely some hassle.
Time, money, effort, the trifecta.
So let's dive in. The first big thing ShipVista talks about is being a multi-channel order management and fulfillment solution.
Mm.
Okay, what does that really mean for someone running an online store?
Well, it's fundamentally about centralizing things. They mentioned connecting with, I think it was over 65 marketplaces.
Wow, 65.
Yeah, places like, Walmart Canada, eBay, Etsy, Amazon, Shopify, the big ones.
Okay.
So instead of logging into each of those separately to check orders, ShipVista is designed to pull all that order info into one dashboard.
How does it do that?
They mentioned two ways mainly. Their API, which is like a direct digital handshake between software systems, and also just their regular web application, the website interface.
Gotcha. So one login, see all your orders from everywhere.
Yeah.
That sounds like a genuine time saver if you're selling on multiple sites.
Definitely simplifies the front end of the process.
Okay, so you've got the orders coming in all neat and tidy. What about actually, shipping them, getting labels?
Right, the next step. That's their streamlined shipping label creation. They really push the idea of getting the lowest possible rates.
From who? Which carriers?
They list the big players: Canada Post, USPS, UPS, FedEx, DHL, several others too, I think. The idea is you see rates from all of them, side by side.
So comparison is key.
Exactly. And what seems quite useful is how quickly you can compare different scenarios. Maybe one carrier is way cheaper for a specific zone near their hub, that could let you offer better shipping prices yourself.
And they talk about automation, right? Printing labels fast.
Yeah, the print labels in seconds with one-click line. That sounds like it's aimed squarely at cutting out that repetitive, click-heavy work and reducing errors too, probably.
Makes sense. Less manual entry, fewer mistakes.
Precisely. And there are two main ways you get these rates. You can use ShipVista's own pre-negotiated rates. They throw out a number like up to 89% savings on postage.
Up to 89%. That's
Yes.
significant. Though up to always needs a closer look.
Always. It depends on your volume, your specific routes, everything, but the potential is there. Or the second option, you can connect your own carrier accounts. If you already have good rates negotiated directly, you just plug those in.
Okay, that flexibility seems important. Use their deals or bring your own.
Mm-hmm. It caters to different scales of business.
All right, so orders are in, best rate found, label printed. What's the actual day-to-day flow look like based on their How It Works guide?
They break it down into about 5 steps. It seems pretty clear. First is creating the shipment itself, entering the addresses.
Standard stuff.
Yeah, but they mention an autocomplete address book feature, which honestly can save a surprising amount of time and prevent typos, especially for repeat customers.
Good point. Okay, step one, address, then.
Step 2, choose your service. This is where that rate comparison really happens. You see the options, the delivery estimates, the standard price versus ShipVista's price, all laid out.
So you weigh cost versus seed right there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Exactly. Then step 3 is just printing the documents, the label, anything else needed. And they mention you can schedule a pickup here too.
Scheduling pickup. How does that work?
That's step 4, basically. They make it sound super simple, like 2 clicks is the phrase they use.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to work no matter how many packages or which carriers you used for those labels.
Oh, okay. So if I have a Canada Post box and a UPS box going out, I schedule both pickups through shipvista in just a couple of clicks.
That seems to be the promise, which for businesses doing regular multiple shipments could be a huge time saver compared to coordinating with each carrier individually.
Yeah, I can see that being a big plus. No more juggling pickup requests. And the final step, tracking.
Correct. Step 5, tracking. They say it's easy, either through your ShipVista account or even just on their homepage. You get the status, date, location updates.
Standard tracking info, but centralized.
Right. Which is important for, keeping customers informed and spotting any problems early.
Okay, so that's the core workflow. Let's dig into some of the specific features they highlight. They mentioned a unified dashboard. Sounds like mission control.
Pretty much. It's designed to be that first screen you see, giving you a quick look at recent shipments, transactions. They talk about easy tabs to jump between, like imported orders, labels you've created, even warehouse product info if you use that part.
So quick access to key stuff.
Yeah, minimize clicking around.
And we touched on it, but that rate advisor seems critical for the cost-saving aspect.
Definitely. And what's neat is you can apparently get quotes before you even finalize a shipment. Just pop in the postal codes, the package size and weight, and boom, quotes from all the carriers show up.
Instant comparison. So you're not guessing, the best rate at that moment.
Right. Avoids overpaying, basically.
Makes sense. What about batch shipments for people shipping lots of stuff?
Yeah, that's a big one for volume shippers. Instead of doing one label.print.nextlabel.print, you can process a whole batch at once.
Huge efficiency gain there.
Absolutely, especially during busy times like holidays or just if you have consistent daily volume.
And it's not just domestic, right? They mentioned international shipment.
Correct. They support international shipping and, importantly, include tools for handling customs declarations.
Oh, customs forms, the fun part.
Exactly. Having that integrated could really simplify things. Less manual paperwork, maybe fewer errors that cause delays.
Definitely a plus. Now, returns. Returns are always a potential headache for sellers.
Sure.
What's ShipVista's angle there?
They specifically highlight free automatic generation of return labels.
Free and automatic.
Seems so. Making returns easier is, key for customer happiness. So this feature looks designed to smooth that process for both the seller and the buyer.
Less hassle for everyone involved. Okay. Beyond just shipping labels, you mentioned other order management tools.
Yeah, there's a suite of things like automatically importing orders, obviously, but also tagging orders maybe for priority or by channel. You can combine orders going to the same person or split an order if needed.
Combining orders, that saves on shipping costs too.
Potentially, yeah. And the automatic syncing keeps everything up to date. They also mention exporting and importing order data, which is useful for reporting or using other software.
So quite a bit of control over the order flow itself.
Seems like it. And for businesses with their own stock, there's also warehouse inventory management.
Right. What does that involve?
Basically, tools to manage your products, track SKUs used, weights, monitor what's going in and out of your warehouse. It adds another layer if you handle your own fulfillment.
Interesting. And they even offer shipping data insights, so analytics.
Yeah, moving beyond just processing shipments into analyzing them. They talk about stats on new orders, sales trends, using interactive charts. You can set date ranges too.
So you can see which shipping options are most popular with your customers or where your shipping costs are highest.
Exactly that kind of thing. Finding patterns, identifying areas to maybe optimize costs or service.
That's pretty valuable, having that data built in. They also mentioned partnerships. What's the significance there?
Well, listing partnerships with various tech platforms and carriers usually suggests decent integration capabilities, a wider ecosystem. It means it's more likely to play nice with the other tools you might already be using for your e-commerce setup.
Good point. Compatibility is key. Okay, let's talk money. Cost. Accessibility. What's the deal there?
They make a couple of interesting points. First, no subscription fee for eligible users.
Eligible. How?
They define that, I think, as users spending over $550 in retail shipping value. So for higher volume shippers, that subscription cost is waived.
Okay, so potentially free to use the platform itself if you ship enough.
Right. And they also have a new customer sign-up bonus up to $1,000 in shipping credit. That's a pretty strong hook to get people to try it out.
$1,000 in credit. Wow.
Yeah, seems like a significant incentive. And then, as we said, the default is getting their discounted rates anyway.
So trying to lower the barrier to entry and show value quickly?
Yeah.
Makes sense. And who is this all aimed at? Who's the ideal user?
They're pretty broad, actually. Online retailers, general e-commerce businesses, people selling on platforms or marketplaces, individual sellers, and they specify both the US and Canada.
So quite a wide range, from small sellers to larger operations in North America.
Seems that way. Scalable, maybe.
All right. We've covered a lot of ground duration, the core functions, the specific features, the cost, the target user. Let's try and wrap this up. What are the main takeaways for someone listening?
I'd say the big ones are centralization, getting all your orders and shipping in one place, cost savings through those discounted rates and comparisons, and simplification, making label printing, tracking, even returns much less of a manual chore.
Centralize, save money, simplify.
Pretty much. The
Yeah.
goal seems to be streamlining the whole logistics side to free up your time and potentially lower your expenses.
So what this boils down to for you, the listener, is this. If you feel like you're spending way too much time, energy, maybe even money, just managing how you ship things out,
Hmm.
understanding a platform like shipvista could be, well, a shortcut to a more organized, possibly cheaper way to handle it all,
Yeah, and it prompts a question, doesn't it?
which is,
How much time and, frankly, money are you currently sinking into just managing shipping? Think about your current process. Could consolidating it like this actually make a noticeable difference to your business or even just your personal shipping tasks?
that's a good point. Maybe the next step for someone listening is to actually check out the shipvista site, see which specific carriers they work with in your area, which marketplaces you use are integrated.
Exactly. See if the specifics line up with your actual needs. It might be a really good fit or maybe not, but exploring it based on your own situation seems like the logical next move.